Mark Wars on a 7-day trip around Europe. 17-day. No, he sends me pictures every day. He's going to 7 different countries. He's all over the place.
The summer Simon was in Europe staying at my dad and stepmom's flat in Liechtenstein.
Mm-hmm.
The Prince of Liechtenstein had a party because I think his daughter or son was getting married. So they invited everyone in the country to go.
Oh, that's cool.
Because the country's not very good. He texted back a picture of him. He said he went in a t-shirt and Bermuda shorts.
Oh wow!
To
the wedding.
Well, it was not the wedding itself, but it was pre-party, and all that.
Oh, good. We just got text from, we're good, JT Pennington and Coach Clements. Two cards? Yeah. I don't know if Coach Mack's coming or not. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, next week for our 5 o'clock guest, we'll have a guy on that is part of the consortium that's trying to bring a hockey team back to Atlanta. Following week. I'm sorry. Yeah, following. Yeah. Bruce Burge. He used to own the Atlanta Knights. Looks like you might be my co-host and the boys might be our guests.
Yeah. Tell you what, traffic, I put it in to come up here, straight from the game. Because, once we got to the car, it was 3:30, yeah.
So when are you leaving to go to Pittsburgh? Friday? I met a guy, Ken Keating. I don't know if you know Ken or not. Do you know him?
I do, former president of the Penn State Alumni Association. That's what he and I.
Oh, he
also
was
have in
too?
common. Yeah.
Yeah. He's a buddy of mine. We go to the KSU games together.
Yeah.
And he's leaving Friday morning to go to the Whiteout.
Yeah. I know. I wish I was leaving Friday morning to go to the Whiteout. I'm just leaving Friday morning to go to Pittsburgh for a wedding. But nobody wants to go to except for me because it's family and it's just seeing the other half of the family that, the extended family I don't normally get to see. I always forget the plus 3.5 means that they have to lose by less than 3.5.
Give me an example.
The Oregon Penn State game.
So Oregon's getting 3.5 points.
Yeah.
So the score is 3.5-0 right now, Oregon.
Yeah. Right. So that's
Pittsburgh has to. Penn State has to beat them by more than 4.
Yeah.
By at least.
Yeah.
okay?
Sometimes I just forget when I see like the 3.5. I'm like, hold on.
I lost games in the screwiest way this weekend. I had to turn off TV. I got so mad.
Yeah.
You okay? Okay, I was just curious. You usually text me you're coming in hot if you're coming in hot. So. All right, we'll see you in a minute.
He's coming in slow and heavy.
All right.
Yeah, give me Ole Miss.
There's a lot of good college football games this weekend. I couldn't get anybody to go with me to the Tech game Saturday. I wound up not going.
Are you serious? I would have.
Tore me up.
I know. Hell, I would have gone to it if I was like. We got home by like mid third quarter by the time we got back, because we had a game at Walton, and then by the time that we were done, and excuse me, that was for the Clemson game. Yeah, it was still about mid third quarter, halftime when we got home. Because like they were playing Temple, they didn't start till 4 o'clock, so like we had a little bit more of a leeway for catching more of the game because of the start time and stuff. But man, it was what I expected it to be.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hey,
You? I just texted you. Ian, you know Will Renfro, don't you?
yeah, Will.
Ian
How we
King,
doing?
Will?
Good to see you again.
I just texted you who the guests were tonight. J.T. Pennington and Coach Clements. J.T. Pennington? Yeah. Clements, what does he coach? Do you know? Same, so he might be offensive line coach. He's right behind you. Yeah, he had to go turn off the jukebox. Man, you're like planning ahead.
Yeah. It's like they were like, oh yeah, we should do conferences for the annual opponents,
Yeah.
and they're like, but that'd make it too easy.
Have they set yours? The Big Ten yet? Have they set theirs?
No.
SEC set theirs yesterday. Boys enjoy meeting Coach Mack last week.
Yeah, we did. They, it is so friendly. Just so nice. Like, oh, you guys play? It's like, yeah. It's like, so Owen, we nicknamed him. We gave him the nickname Kool-Aid for how he's been playing football this year because he just breaks through that line like it's like nothing. And this past week, so he didn't play 2 weeks ago because he hurt his hand like the night before the game. They were playing somebody easy, so it was like it wasn't a big deal that he couldn't play. Like he just rested up that next day. His thumb was all swollen and stuff because he stowed his thumb because of how they were playing, just roughhousing out front, just playing one-on-one football. So he couldn't play, and I just like I was frustrated with him, but at the same time, like, kids are gonna be kids, and like gotta let them learn.
He's a good guy. I like Coach Mack.
But he ended up not playing defensive line last week, and then this week
Say kind of things like,
he only ended up playing one series of D-line at the end, and I was like, talked to him about practice this week. He's like, no, I played all the time, like starting and blah blah blah. It's like, okay. It's like, and I thought about, I'm like, they just hit him for the film because they're playing McEachern this week, who's actually, supposed to be good. So it's like, hey, why put all of our cards on the table when we don't need to?
yeah.
That's the nice thing when you have a deep team, that you're like, I can hide players and I can play players. And like, if you can hide them, like hide your talent and still win games and still win convincingly, like.
Yeah, I don't think there's a big drop off between between Haynes King and Philo.
No, there's not.
Yeah.
There really isn't. But I will say that Haynes King is just his leadership qualities.
He's a beast.
Yeah.
He really is.
His leadership qualities far extend like his actual. I don't know if that's his actual ability, but they far extend. The schematic abilities they put in front of him. Like I feel like everybody just plays up.
Jake Clemens is the offensive line coach.
He is. Thank you. Have you won any in the fantasy football league yet?
No, because every time I put up points, the other team goes off that week.
Oh yeah.
Well, we play this week
I know, and I'm hoping, and I actually am favored right now, and I'm hoping that,
5 points.
yeah. How we doing? Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, I will say that adjusting to a deeper bench league is different. Like so in my neighborhood league, we have 5 spots for the bench. That's it.
Which is a better league. That way there's more transactions.
Yeah, and you just, and there's more in the pool to pull from.
Right, absolutely.
Whereas we have.
There's nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing. Scotty. Oh, that's from, he took
Danny,
the
he
pictures?
said he's going to be on again next week. I hate to put somebody on that quick, but he's going to come back on and talk about the Ryder Cup.
That'd be cool.
Did you meet the guy we had on last week?
I did not meet him.
He's at the Ryder Cup. He's a
What?
digital writer.
Yeah.
He sent me some shots from the first.
Yes,
team.
because I got the pics
Isn't
right.
it gorgeous?
Yeah. That's what you gotta do. Just put it, bring him back.
So whenever we have a guest make pics, we can't have all the different faces. So the new face of all
we can do a
guests
mic
will
check.
be Miles.
Hello.
Miles Teller. He's the guy from the Top Gun movie that all the girls like. He's got the cool
I
mustache.
have the face, but I'm not good with names. But I know who you're talking about.
No,
So
wings.
if the guest ever wins it, we'll slide them knives. Tell
Bear, naked.
Can you hear me now? Oh, coming in loud.
That's what I was just asking Larry.
What kind of cheese do you guys have?
Cheese?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Sean's got cut the cheese.
Yeah, probably.
Hey, Alexa, would you flip on that light, please? On the back.
Bacon and Swiss burger.
Thank you.
Broccoli. It's my I'm gonna be healthy this week. I'm eating broccoli.
listen, the broccoli here is actually delicious. And
What'd you say?
I shouldn't say actually delicious.
There is no such thing
I
as
didn't
delicious
get fries.
broccoli.
I got broccoli, which means I'll
I
live
think that there
forever.
is.
Don't you know?
I truly enjoy broccoli.
It all balances out.
Fries are my three go-to
Oh, God.
veggies.
3 of the nastiest vegetables in the world.
So can
That not good?
You saw who coming on the 7 o'clock show?
No, I haven't seen it.
I just texted it.
Oh.
Offensive line and JT Pennington.
Very nice.
I texted Mike at 4 and said,
So come out
any
sometime.
guests tonight? And he said, oh, I forgot to text you.
so we can come out at the same time.
9-1. 9-1.
In Conference USA last week, you.
You only made 2 picks different than me on purpose.
Hello,
and
hello.
You won both those 2 games.
So can I do the big red?
Fries.
But I am going to yell at Larry during that segment later.
And then can I do that with the 5 pepper instead of like the normal hot sauce?
Got a bad echo and a bad something else.
Bacon Swiss burger,
Speaking of which, when do you need me to do?
medium
fill
with
in
broccoli.
today?
Larry, do you need Ian to do your job next week?
I don't think so at this point.
All right.
Larry, I'm going to yell at you
Wings,
during
naked,
the Conference USA section of the second show. Just to let you know. It's been no,
Booyah.
and your line was so horrible. That's why I went the direction I went. And then I looked at the normal line. It was like you had one team favored by 8, and it was actually the other team by 14. I was 22 points in the wrong before the game even started. How are you?
Oh, I missed so many games by the funkiest reasons. We'll talk about that for sure. No doubt about it.
Yeah, I missed a lot of games too, thanks to the fuckiest
UT
reasons.
Martin minus 9.5 over Missouri State. Actual line was Missouri State minus 14.5. I just want to say, I probably wouldn't have taken UT Martin had I known they were actually. Well, they're really 14-point underdogs, but just make it even. Just make it even. You don't have to create something crazy.
Larry's flipping coins. And
Yeah, exactly. Carry the 1.
Hey Larry, I might turn down the mic volume a little bit. Just the way it's hitting. Just a little bit.
that's good.
Bring it up just a little bit more. Right about there. That's perfect.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Great job. Thank you.
That's why he's Larry.
My man there.
Jeez, that girl's so beautiful. I was gonna say, why aren't you modeling somewhere? Why are you doing this?
Oh, and you can count the regular picks up again. I wasn't 6-4. I was 7-3. I was 7-3 in the regular picks though as well. You have me down at 6-4. It's all right. I got it all right here. I'm just gonna yell at you for all my horrible picks today.
Happy Wednesday to everybody. It's 5 o'clock on a Wednesday afternoon. Got a little storm came through, and it's hot again. This is Three Guys Who Love Sports. My name is Chuck Burge, along with my co-host, Mr. Robert Kinney. Robert, how are you?
Living the dream.
Attaboy. Very hot day today, but they say it's the last hot day of the year. I hope they're right, because it's only supposed to be like 79 tomorrow.
They're always wrong. So
Yeah.
when they, for the rest of the year, yeah, I don't buy
Could be
that.
snowing tomorrow, like these guys are. Or it could be 110. Who knows? This show is to help guys who are going through mental and physical issues get through a better place. So happy to be here. I can hear me twice. All right. So it's. What did you say, Sean?
I said that's 2 more times than we need to.
Absolutely. Give me that tip back, please. No, we're good. So very happy to be here at Miller's Ale House again tonight. 2 weeks in a row. What'd you get?
You're a madman.
I am a madman.
I went with a burger because it's healthy, right, Will?
Will's already in the house. That's kind of good
At
to
least
know.
today.
Larry, what'd you go with?
I actually went healthy as well, and I went with a Cobb salad.
Even though you live in Fulton, you went with a Cobb salad.
That's right.
Wow, that's pretty bizarre.
But when in Cobb,
Do as the Cobbians do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
when in Cobb.
All right. So, very happy to have our good friend, Mr. Ian King, back. Ian, welcome. I said, very happy to have our good friend Ian King back. Thank you. How are you, buddy?
Thank you.
Ian, fresh off pulling the Braves to another loss after a 10-game win streak, and him and the boys went down and watched this noon tilt.
And Greg Fuller was there, so we have all sorts
what
of
I told him.
we have all sorts of guests of the show who we can blame the winning streak snap on.
Way to go,
Yeah.
guys! Yeah. So,
As you would say, attaboy.
Attaboy.
attaboy. All right, big weekend of college football last weekend. You know, I got so frustrated I didn't watch as much as I usually do because I was losing picks left and right. I'm 3-1 in college, and I think I'm having a great weekend. No. Good games. I need to pick all games on Friday night because I'm 2-0 on Friday nights. But the rest of the time it sucks. So, what college game did you enjoy most this weekend, Robert?
There was a lot of good games. Not a high profile game, but I thought the Memphis Arkansas game was, that was a heck of a game.
Yeah. I was blown away that Indiana beat Illinois so badly.
Yeah, I was not.
I didn't see that coming. I mean, KSU, what, it was 59-9, right? Against
56 to
KSU?
9. 56 to 9.
Against Kennesaw?
Yep.
And then they score 63 on Illinois.
Yep. Touchdown
Wow.
better and one more point.
So that means we can compete with Illinois, so we should be in the Big Ten?
No, we do not want to be in the Big Ten. But no, there was a lot of good games. There was the Nebraska Michigan game was down to the wire. The Oklahoma Auburn game was good.
No, that one killed me. That's another game I lost by a half point because they got a stinking safety inside 2 minutes left in the game. I said, yes, 27-22, I got this game. And the next thing I looked, I said, what? No, it was 22-17 is what it was. And I said, oh, my gosh, I looked at the final score, 24-17, they got a safety. And then I got to go ahead and say this because this is just the way my weekend went with picks.
been around for 100 years playing these same two teams. So, there's a tradition there. But yeah, it's pretty wild.
I will say, I think that they missed the mark for Oklahoma. For example, Oklahoma's out-of-conference games are Mizzou, Texas, and Ole Miss. With all due respect, Oklahoma should not be playing Ole Miss as one of their guaranteed 3 rivalry games. They need to be playing Texas A&M. Give me the old Big 12 that Big 12 component and faction that you have in the SEC to play in the SEC continually year after year after year.
Absolutely.
If you want to be the big dog on campus, you got to be the biggest dog in your division.
And that's the one thing I really like about Texas is Texas has to play A&M and Oklahoma, the two teams that they've been playing since the beginning of time. Now, they sprinkle in Arkansas, but, Arkansas once every 5 years ends up having a running, what do? We run it 70 times a game. So, that's a pitfall for them in the future.
Although I would say that, and I would argue that Arkansas would be an equally as big rival as any of those other two teams, because Arkansas was part of that Southwestern Conference.
Texarkana, it's right
original
there.
Southwestern
Absolutely.
Conference.
Years and years.
Original Southwestern Conference. Right?
Yes, exactly. And so,
Frank Broyle days.
harken back to the olden days where you used to have these 8
Harken back.
Yes, harken back to the olden days where you used to have these 8-team conferences and just marry those 8-team conferences with other 8-team conferences and make those your Big 16 conferences and those Power 4 conferences. That's all we really need to do here. The only thing that throws anything out of whack is the fact that you have these independents now that have these former independents that have now joined a conference and have thrown off that balance of 8+8. And also these teams like Kennesaw State who have moved up into Division I FBS territory, which, do not get me wrong, I don't blame them at all. And I think it's good for the sport that you have these smaller schools or these newer schools playing at the highest level. But at the end of the day, take more of those schools that are newer and smaller in terms of recruiting dollars and pair those guys up together and pair up the old dogs together and have your true blues together in those Power 4 divisions. And
Absolutely. And the biggest problem at the end of the day is still going to be these conferences are so freaking big. What happened to Indiana last year where they're able to squirt through without playing anybody, and I'm a Tech, I like Tech, but Tech's doing the same thing. And there'll be an SEC team next year that does it. So, I don't know that there's going to be a decent answer to it because there's just so many teams when you have it revolving around, every 6th year, Larry's going to get a great schedule. He's going to be really freaking happy about it. And as long as recruiting is at that same level.
Yeah. All right, so let's get on to some picks, but first let's get our first 2 commercials in. Enjoy New Realm's award-winning craft beer, whether visiting the brewery on the Beltline or purchasing its leading beers such as Hazy Like a Fox or Tiki Like a Fox at your local retail stores, available in Kroger, Publix, and most places you shop, and even right here at Miller's Ale House. As the official craft beer partner of Kennesaw State University, try Owl and Lager, a great tasting beer that pays homage to New Realm's KSU partnership. Go Owls and go Miller's Ale House and New Realm Brewery.
I'm going to try to use a cool H word since we've already used homage and hearken, but we'll find that later. Joshua Smith and his wife Tammy are both graduates of Kennesaw State College. He's been practicing law for 24 years, specializing in sports and entertainment law, while continuing in criminal defense, civil litigation, juvenile and personal injury. And he's ready to represent you all the way from your small town to the Supreme Court and any appellate court in between. With all the new rules regarding NIL and cash payments to athletes, they're placing a new emphasis on Kennesaw State University student athletics to help our student athletes better navigate some of the bigger issues that have tripped up so many. Give them a call tomorrow at 706-217-2095. That's right, 706-217-2095.
And we thank you, Joshua. Good to see you at the game Saturday, buddy. Good to run into you. And hope to see you at homecoming this weekend. That'll be great as KSU takes on MTSU. We'll talk a lot more about that game later on. Right now, we're going to make some picks. But, first, I forgot to give somebody some grief that we really needed to. How'd that Tulane Ole Miss game come out, Robert?
Well, I think Tulane would rather see Katrina come back than anything else.
See Lane Kiffin's offense again.
I tell you, what an offense though. I mean that guy, what he's been able to do since he got to Ole Miss, and obviously they're right in the middle of these picks. So we'll see what happens.
Well, as few as good games were last weekend, it's the converse
So
this
many.
week. So many good football games, and we will have our good friend Will Shamu Renfro joining in with us to make our picks. Look, Larry, he's moving, he's doing it. Oh, I thought he was going to press the applause button, but obviously not. There he is. All right, there you go, Will. Okay, so a lot of good games. Indiana minus 7.5 at Iowa.
Indiana.
You trying to get in before Will gets in?
No, I just, I liked Indiana in that game last week, and there's sure as heck no reason for me to not take it. Let me ask you one quick trivia question, since there was a firing of Mr. Gundy.
Mike Gundy.
Mike Gundy is no longer a head coach. Now that he has been fired, who has the longest tenure of any head coach in Division I?
Not Ferentz.
Iowa.
Yep.
Nick
That's
Ferentz, right?
he's been there, and you stop and you think about it. It's like, wow,
It is Ferentz, huh?
it is.
Wow.
It is him.
Wow. This is at Iowa, but man, like Robert said, Indiana's putting up so many stinking points.
I'll root for the kids with cancer as they're waving down to the field, but I don't see much else happening at that field.
No, I'd have to go with the Hoosiers as well.
Yeah, give me the Hoosiers all day. As much as I want to see Iowa pull off an upset, cover the points, and just ruin some people's parlays on Saturday, that's not going to happen. Indiana is too good.
Something tells me you're focused on another game.
It is. I am.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, Iowa, they are a gritty team. They are a gritty team year in and year out, but they are not always a dominant team or one of the best teams. And so, ultimately when it comes down to it, give me Indiana.
I don't think this mic is on.
Larry, give.
There we go.
There you go.
Hey, if this was a wrestling match, I might go with Iowa. But since we're playing football, and I've seen Indiana play this year live, they are good.
Wow, that's all Indiana.
It's
right?
Indiana. It's a
So
sweep.
how did we do last week on the two games where we all picked the same? Did either one of them cover?
Let's see. We all took Oregon. That didn't work. We all took Atlanta. That didn't work.
Those are the two. There you go. That's what it tells you. Yeah. Don't do that. All right.
No, that's good for the people who are watching. You're
Yeah.
trying to put your hard-earned money down on something. If you see these four knuckleheads agree on anything,
Go
run,
the other
run,
way, baby.
Run.
Go the other way. All right. I didn't realize how heavy I was on Big Ten this week, but Southern Cal minus 6.5 at Illinois.
Illinois' got to be licking some wounds right now, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. I'll go with the Trojans. They beat up on Michigan State. Didn't cover, but they beat up on them pretty handily. And I've got no reason to think that Illinois is woke up in the last week and ready to stop a passing offense.
I'm going to go with Illinois just because they're home. They got to put up a better performance than what they did last week. Got to.
Got to define. Got to.
A little bit above you better.
It's got to 6 points or 7 points.
You are a habitual optimist.
I wish I was, but after my picks the first 3 weeks, it ain't pretty.
Yeah, listen, Illinois is coming in, getting their butts whooped like it
Like
was.
nothing.
It was swearing on a Sunday at church, and you're a Baptist, right? It is not going to happen for Illinois this week. They're not going to be able to get the points that they need to. I think Southern Cal, the way that they played Michigan State last week, Michigan State is a superior team to Illinois, I think, from top to bottom. And the way that USC beat Michigan State, even though Michigan State was on the road, I think that USC can take that on the road and put that show out there in Champaign and go ahead and whip some butt and cover those points. So give me USC, Southern Cal.
And Will, what say you, Shamu?
I'm gonna have to go with USC. I just don't think that we're gonna. I think at the end of the year we're gonna all be asking, how was Illinois ranked so high at the beginning of the season?
Okay.
Well, but it's what we always talk about and the world talks about, not just this show. Why do you have a poll in July? Clearly, because Indiana wasn't ranked and
Right.
Illinois was, and now all of a sudden, you look at that last one, okay, we got that all wrong.
It's because they had so many returning starters and also a good bowl win over a good team. And
But bowl
that's-
wins are hard. I love a good bowl
There was
win, but
somebody in the Southeast, wasn't
somebody's always,
It was an SEC team. I do believe it's Arkansas, but I could be incorrect there. But
All right.
at the end of the day,
Well, this is the most bizarre spread that I would have thought. LSU plus 1.5 at Ole Miss. I would have thought LSU would have been a 2.5 or 3.5 point favorite.
home field advantage was worth
Yep.
3, so they're basically saying, man, they're just a little better. I definitely want to hear Mr. Renfro talk before I speak on this one. Not that he's a monkey see, monkey do kind of guy, but just
No,
saying.
but wasn't there a picture of Lane Kiffin's daughter with an LSU player?
Yes.
I'm betting the over.
Yeah.
I'm betting Ole Miss. I don't care what happens. If they're up by 40, he's still throwing it. I'm going with, Ole Miss.
I'll jump in here. I truly believe that LSU is going to cover that spread, and they are going to lose by at least 1.5 points. I know it's a terribly large spread, terribly large, but at the end of the day, I think Ole Miss is going to be better suited. Give them that home field advantage. Basically, all Vegas is saying is, hey, these teams are evenly matched.
That's it.
Exactly, head to head, they are evenly matched. The only advantage is the fact that Ole Miss is playing at home. So give them 1.5, and let's just call it a day. And we're going to say that LSU has to lose by 1.5 instead of favoring the home team.
And I know we love to talk about Vegas and when there's a 27-point spread and it's a 28-point game and we go, wow, how? But you nailed it on the head. This isn't going to be a 1.5-point game. It's Vegas's way of saying,
It's a pick 'em.
have Larry flip a coin and come up with a spread or something else.
So who you got?
Oh, I got that boy down out of the bayou.
I'm going to go with LSU as well. I think this is the year for LSU.
But I think this very easily could be the most entertaining game.
I do too.
What time is kickoff?
I want to say this one's at 3:30.
Okay, I just want to make sure we can watch it at the tailgate.
Tech and Wake at 12. All right.
I will say, so just to clarify, I am taking Ole Miss.
Yeah.
To win,
So
to
3
win the game.
LSUs and 1 Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Oh,
To
no,
win the game.
No, Will took Ole Miss.
Well, actually, I'm sorry.
No, you took LSU.
Yeah, give me LSU. I'm sorry. Give me
Oh,
LSU.
okay. 3
to cover.
LSUs and a Will.
I think that's just a cover. He's just next week he can say, "No, I picked the other one."
You picked everything.
All right.
You know, the
like
pluses
that.
always throw me off. The pluses always throw me off.
Yeah.
I was just talking to Chuck before the game.
It is a 3:30 game. That's a 3:30 start.
Yeah, I mean that.
And the one most dear to Ian's heart,
Well, let's-
Oregon getting 3.5 at Penn State.
Being that the three of us probably aren't going to say a whole bunch, let's just have him pontificate for a moment, and then we'll all give our quick answers.
Hey, that's better than an H word. That pontificate. That was a good one.
I did call you a habitual optimist. I'm trying to work those H's in, but it's taking me a second.
Let's go ahead and break this one down. Listen, Penn State is stacked this year on offense. Yes, they lost a few pieces on defense to key players like Abdul Carter. But at the end of the day, you have Penn State coming back, full tilt offense, at home, 7 o'clock game, whiteout conditions. Sorry, Oregon. There's no uniform combination that you can put on the field that is going to make you stand out, because your play is going to get broken down by this standout offense and this fill in the gaps defense. And they are just going to go out and shut them down. And yes, it is going to be a close game, but at the end of the game, it is going to be Penn State covering by more than 3.5 points. It is going to be at least a touchdown game when it's all said and done.
I don't know. I'm just glad we're not in the Pacific Northwest, because calling Oregon in their uniforms out is like, I was watching the game last week and they had black. Did you see those games? You know, and I'm like, what team is that? What team is that? Oh, there's a little O. Oh my god, that's Oregon. That's Oregon. There's no green. There's no yellow. There's nothing anymore. It's just black now.
Yeah,
well, for that one game.
They had Blue Ribbon Sports advertised on their uniforms, which is Nike's original name. You know, Phil Knight originally named the company Blue Ribbon Sports, then transitioned over to Nike when he wanted to harken back to the Olympic days, the original Olympic days.
He's doing a lot of harking.
Yeah, but
He's almost barking. He's so much he's harking.
I'm waiting for the Herald Angels.
And pay homage to the Greek games and change the name to Nike and the goddess of sports. But at the end of the day, like every single week it's something different.
It is.
There's no consistency ever.
And if they lived in a big city, imagine how much they would sell. You know, if it was, one of those cities like Atlanta where, everybody's buying stuff or whatever, there's only a few people in Eugene that have to have 19 different jerseys to which one are we wearing tonight? I don't want to be off again.
All right, Will. Who you got?
I'm going with Penn State just because it's at Penn State. I might go the other way if it was at Oregon, but because it's a Penn State home game, I'm going with Penn State to cover.
I will have to say that I have picked Oregon, I think, twice this year, and they failed to cover both times. I think they're going to cover. I think it's a 3-point game. I think Penn State wins, but I think it's a 27-24, 31-28 game. So I'm going to take Oregon in the points.
I took the Ducks as well because I thought you were telling me you were getting ready to take Penn State, and there was no way I was going to make that a quad factor. So
Yeah. No, I will go with that.
And what do you guys think on this? And we're getting ready to hit the next game. This game is a whiteout. The next game is a blackout. What do you think about your rival coming to town and you just, I hate it. I hate it because Georgia never picks the right something when something comes to town. And, I know you guys have done whiteouts for years. You kind of invented the thing, I think.
We did. We actually invented it, and it was my class that invented it.
There you go.
So, if I would have actually graduated on time and not taken an extra lap and went on time.
Oh, those extra laps are fun, though.
Well,
Yeah.
speaking of whiteouts, I'd like to talk about a different out. I'd like to talk about a poked out, which is what I would like my eyes to been when I had to watch Suckafee in a Speedo jumping off the diving board on Saturday. I thought I was going to throw up. That was the most nauseating thing I've ever seen in my life. I know you I don't know if you follow me on Instagram or watch, but I hammer him every chance I get. Nobody wants to watch you take your clothes off, Pat Suckafee. Nobody except you.
My dad doesn't like anything anymore ever since he had his delirium bout and everything. We sit there and we watch TV and he'll just look over at me. I hate that guy. And he doesn't say it to anybody more than Suckafee. Every time that guy comes on, he's like, I hate that guy. I'm like, well, you're not alone. It's okay.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm going to chalk part of that up to the fact that most of us Western Pennsylvanians and Pittsburghers are not very easy to like. And we're not very easy on the eyes, as my wife would tell you, very openly and candidly.
That's a sweet wife you have who says you guys aren't very easy on the eyes. I mean, I still married you, but
Well, the only thing more white than a Penn State whiteout was his thighs when he took
Oh, yeah,
off
it was
his
horrible.
pants.
Horrible.
Those tan lines were horrible.
All right, let's get on to the
All right,
last
let's go to
game.
the next
We'll run
one.
a little behind.
Dogs.
I got to tell you, dogs.
yeah, go figure.
And I'm going to go Bama, and let me tell you why. Because I read
pick me.
Did you read the stat?
No,
about
because you hate them.
About
is the
no,
right-
no, about Kalen DeBoer. He
No.
has never lost a game coming off a bye week in college.
Well,
So give me the Tide.
it's really tough when
He's
you
never
have,
put a team in the trash like he has Alabama either, but he's doing that.
Well, we'll see.
When you consider most of his bye weeks were before he had to play Cal and Oregon
No,
State.
they were
and a
better
few
than
other-
that. I looked, but yeah. But go ahead, Ian.
Listen, this is the marquee matchup in the SEC coming into the season. However, Alabama completely and Kalen DeBoer completely ruined the script. It is not going to be a close game because, honestly, Alabama is outmatched this year. They truly are. And the games that they're supposed to be favored, they're going to end up not being favored. I think Alabama is going to lose by more than 2.5, so give me Alabama.
All right, Will.
Well, when you scared me when you said it was a blackout, because I was at that game where Georgia played Auburn and they came out in black uniforms and they laid an egg.
So wait, you just said they're going to lose by more than 2.5. So I'm taking Alabama. So that didn't make any sense. Are you taking Alabama or Georgia?
Oh, I'm taking Georgia to win the game.
Thank you. Cool. I just want to double check on the.
For the points.
Yep.
The points. Like, they're going to. Georgia is going to win by more than 3 points.
Absolutely.
Is what I'm trying to say.
I'm now over my fear of the blackout, though. I'm going to go with Georgia, even though that scares me when you said that.
All right, let's get on to a brain train commercial because we're running a little behind.
Hey, it's Melissa at Brain Train Centers, the fastest growing neurofeedback provider in the world, and I have some pretty important questions for you. Do you or someone you know struggle with focus and attention, sleep, memory, or other mood issues? Or maybe you just want to achieve more in high-pressure situations. Well, what if I told you you can unlock your brain's full potential and change your life entirely through neurofeedback, a drug-free and natural approach to negative moods, and it's backed by more than 50 years of research, so it's not new. It is safe for both children and adults as you retrain the brain to create new pathways. Medication may help short-term, but they don't address the underlying issues. Just as push-ups help your physical strength, neurofeedback is personal training for your brain. With over 20 offices nationwide, don't hesitate to reach out to Brain Train Centers, as we will provide you with the highest level of compassionate care and help you achieve the mental clarity, performance, and calm you deserve. Your journey to a better quality of life starts with a brain map. Now you can retrain your brain and reset your life. So just call or text 470-291-2778 or visit braintraincentersinc.com.
With Ian and Robert. And thank you, Melissa Hergert, for being a sponsor of the Three Guys Who Love Sports. We're moving on to some pro ball now. Man, Falcons just bit the dust. I got a buddy that's a big Carolina Panthers fan, and I see him every Tuesday morning. And that's the last thing I want to do was pull up in his driveway and see him this week. But I did. And he was pretty proud of his Panthers. And as much as he was proud of his Panthers, I was that unproud of the Falcons.
Yeah, losing a game to a horrible and somebody who I've openly predicted is one of the worst 3 teams in the NFL, 30-0. I mean, that's just mind-boggling. Your Suns, if they were doing the X's and O's, would probably come up with something a little better, because it's hard to be that bad against a bad team. But, man, we were.
It wasn't even close.
Yeah, even my 7-year-old knows see ball, get ball. And so do all his teammates. See ball, get ball. And the Falcons could not do that. And in fact, they could not do that so much so that they fired Ike Hilliard, who was their wide receivers coach.
Saw that.
Which is a beautiful thing. When your quarterback can't hit anybody who's wide open, what should you do? Fire the wide receivers coach.
Somebody had to take the blame, right?
Yeah, somebody had to fall.
Yeah, somebody had to fall on the sword. Unfortunately, it was one of Kerry Collins' favorite targets that year that the Giants went to the Super Bowl in 2000. But, ultimately, I mean, is it the Falcons' worst loss ever? I would argue not. Now, is it their worst performance ever? That is debatable.
It's not good, but the reason why it's not the worst ever is because it's week 3 against Carolina, and outside of a few people like me and a few Carolina fans like your buddy, nobody else is going to remember this game in a month and a half, let alone anything else. So, but if you're compiling a top 10 disastrous games of all time for the Falcons, this one might crack the top 10.
It's in the top 10. There's no doubt about that.
It's pretty bad.
So what were the other surprises of the weekend? For me, I was shockingly amazed and loved the way the Bears handled the Cowboys. They took it to them.
Yeah.
I mean, Ben Johnson, let's be real. Ben Johnson is the guy that needs to be there in Chicago for a quarterback to break 4,000 yards for a season. And honestly, I think Caleb Williams has a really good chance to do it this year. He really, truly does. And it's a sad thing to see that there's not been a quarterback in Bears franchise history to crack 4,000 yards. Meanwhile, every other franchise has done it.
Oh, yeah.
even the new Cleveland Browns, who have had 42 quarterbacks since their inception 25 years ago. Excuse me, 27 years ago.
Yeah.
I saw. Go ahead.
Like
Ian, sorry.
it's, at the end of the day, no, go ahead, Chuck. I
saw a great stat this week. Which NFL team has had the fewest number of quarterbacks since 2000? I was blown away by this.
Packers.
Packers is the right answer. Yeah.
They
And
had
Cleveland's had the most, 29.
But when you got to just find a team that has 2 guys, let alone they've kind of got 3 with Love now, where it's a long time in between. One of the games, how about let me just throw the Colts out there for a second. Colts finally have punted once. The guys punted once in three in the season,
yeah.
and they're looking amazing. But how about my? Everybody's been saying how bad. Oh, they're horrible. They're going to be the worst team, and I've been defending them all year, and they're still really bad. But how about those Browns, baby? That defense is for real. And if that organization can just get out of its own freaking way and play some rookies.
Guess which game was my double in the top?
Absolutely.
And they're up 10-0. I'm saying, yes, they haven't given up a thing. And next thing I know, 13 points.
But and it's over. You got these 2 guys, and you're going to have 2 top 10 picks next year. So if you can figure out if either one of them is worth anything, wow, the things you can do with next year's draft could really just catapult you well beyond Pittsburgh, Baltimore, and anything else over there. But you got to play him because Flacco's never going to play next year, and he's not your answer.
Speaking of quarterback switch, did you see Jackson Dart is now the guy for the rest of the year for the Giants?
Absolutely.
Well, I would say he's the guy for the rest of the year, but I will say he is the guy for now. And I say that.
Daboll said he was the guy for the rest of the year in the article.
I say that with the attitude of having Russell Wilson in Pittsburgh last year. If Russell Wilson has pieces around him, he will be a sufficient quarterback.
Well, he threw for 450
Absolutely.
last week against Dallas.
Yeah, and so, to that point, at the end of the day, it comes down to play calling to spread it out to break down the coverages. You've got to run the ball in order to go ahead and throw the ball. And they are not able to run the ball because their run blocking is absolute garbage. And you're going to go ahead and put out a rookie quarterback to try to make something happen. Guess what their run game is going to be now? Jackson Dart trying to dart for 3 yards without getting his head knocked off.
Without getting his Jackson knocked off.
No,
that's Johnson.
And that reason alone is why I say that tentatively he is the quarterback for the rest of the year.
But it's the same argument I made last week for the Browns and the Giants, and I just made it again for the Browns. If you're the Giants and your quarterback throws for 450 yards and you still lose, okay, he's not your future. He's really old. So what are you doing? I understand, you put a Band-Aid and you're hoping if we have a good D and a good running game, then Russell or Flacco can take us, down the road. But when you don't have all those things, you might as well play somebody who's young.
All right. So let's get our last 2 commercials out of the way, and we'll make some NFL predictions. It's me, isn't it?
It's you.
There are a lot of places to get your oil changed in the Kennesaw area, but if you're looking for a personal experience, then stop in at Castrol Kennesaw Express Lube or Lost Mountain Express Lube. We'll always do our very best to get you in and out quickly, safely, and without a whole lot of fuss. We're a true owner-operated business where you'll find Brian under a car or hood at one of the shops. We offer experienced, knowledgeable technicians and the latest computer software to help you maintain your new car warranty and keep your pride and joy running for the next 100,000 miles. We proudly offer
Castrol products. Tired of going to the same old places for the same old thing? American Axis has your solution. Whether you're looking for something new to do before or after the game, the most memorable workouting ever, or just wanting to take something else off your bucket list, American Axis has their 3.5 Atlanta locations waiting for you in Marietta, Tucker, downtown at the Works, and the uber cool new Mobile X experience that can be set up wherever you need. Keep an eye out for them at events and festivals. Look them up online or just give Dan a call at 678-763-3635.
Where?
678-763-3635 to schedule your next adventure.
And we thank you, Brian Bristow and Dan Fisher, for being sponsors of Three Guys Who Love Sports. And especially Dan today, as I have his American Axe shirt on today. So I want to do that, and we have our axe. We're about to give some axes. But first, before we do this, I have to make an apology to Robert.
You did go back and listen to the tape.
I did go back and watch the tape, and I was right about what I heard. I was wrong about who said it. It was Greg Fuller who said that the Chiefs, until they get beat, I got to pick them.
That's
And I
correct.
thought it was you, but it was Greg. So I am willing to admit when I'm wrong.
That's good. I appreciate that. I
Yeah.
went back and listened to the week before that as well, and I kind of hedged on that one, saying I was debating between the Broncos and the Chargers. But when I had to make the pick, I said Broncos. But either way,
Yeah, you did agree with me. But
the Chiefs are dead. I tell you. You know, it's crazy. I looked at a power ranking, and I understand, the same way we don't want to move the polls around in college football too much. But here's a horrible Chiefs team that got lucky and beat a horrible team. They're 10th
and boy,
in the power rankings. Like, yeah, I don't think you're.
and they got another big game this week too.
Their whole schedule.
Yeah,
Their whole
yeah.
schedule.
And again, there are a lot of good pro games this week too. And let's kind of dive into them now. Philly minus 3.5 at Tampa Bay. Philly's got to be a little stung after Detroit took care of them. I think Philly will go in there with something to prove, and I think they will beat Tampa Bay.
And that was a playoff game last year. So
Yes.
Philly went to Tampa last year and took care of business.
Yep.
And but and I'll just turn this one around real quick. The same way that we were talking about Illinois and how Illinois got their butts handed to them. Man, that's a great coaching moment. When you lose really bad, you got to listen to me. Well, that's what the Eagles are doing right now. The Eagles had to listen to their coaches this week. You didn't dominate nonstop. You can't do this. Or I'm sorry, the Ravens. I was thinking the Ravens. But yeah, I'm going Philly. I'm taking the Eagles.
Who did you mark earlier, Ian?
Now, I do believe Philly will win the game. However, I do not believe it's going to be by 4 points. I think they are going to win by a field goal at best. They are on the road playing Tampa. Tampa is an untested and unproven team when it comes to
What do you mean they
big
beat
hitters.
What do you mean they played the Falcons?
Did anybody see the Baker Mayfield thing where he's calling Ibuka out?
No.
He goes, don't you disrespect my passes like that. Use two hands, because Ibuka had one, just an incredible, and he walked over to him on the side. He goes, do not disrespect my passes like that. Two hands, and he just walked away from him. Ibuka's just dying laughing.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought it was funny.
Yeah, listen, Baker's a great leader. I love Baker Mayfield, and I think he's doing a tremendous job down in Tampa. And I think Tampa has a phenomenal squad. And so that's why I'm saying Tampa is going to compete in that game, because honestly, what I've seen from Philly in the first 3 weeks is that they're inconsistent in what they need to call to win the game. They refuse to pass the ball when they need to pass the ball, and they want to run the ball consistently. And that's why I saw in the first two games. And all of a sudden, third game, hey, we're going to go ahead and air it out and decide to put it on Jalen Hurts' arm instead of his legs.
But when you're undefeated and you're the defending Super Bowl champion, they're clearly doing enough, kind of.
Yeah, they're doing enough. But enough to cover this week? I don't think so. So that's why I'm taking
the new sombrero.
I bet that there will be a false start called on the tush push this weekend. That's my side bet of the week. My, what do you call it, prop bet. Because
2 weeks ago it was bad.
Yeah, it
2
was
weeks ago it was bad.
Didn't Tampa just sign the 500-pound guy just to stop the tush push? Or he signed him to the practice squad. The guy out of Florida that was like 460 pounds that went undrafted, but he was a real good player at Florida. He was just way too heavy for the NFL to be athletic.
So now they're just going to drop him in the middle of the line.
I think they signed him to the practice squad, but the whole headline was that they signed him just to stop
what's the guy's name?
push.
Villa on the defensive line? Tampa, he's a pretty big boy, too.
Yeah.
Vita
Guy
Villa,
from,
is that his name?
yeah, out of Washington.
Yeah.
I say that, but I'm still going with Philly.
So 3 Phillies in the buck. All right. Speaking of Baker Mayfield, there's another guy that's found new life at a new place, and that's Daniel Jones, as Robert mentioned earlier. He's tearing it up at Indy. They are 3.5-point favorites at the Rams.
The Rams are 3.5-point favorites against Indy. Indy's getting 3.5
Yeah,
on
they're
the
getting
road.
3.5. That's right. And then what I said?
No, I don't know.
Yeah,
Not quite, but
yeah.
almost.
I thought I said they were getting 3.5 at LA. But I'm going to take the Rams. At some point in time, this Indy train has to stop, and I think it's this weekend in LA.
Oh yeah, I think the Colts are going on the road, and the horses are going to come to a halt. There's another H word.
Ah, horses.
Horses and halt.
Hey, I heard that.
Hey.
Hey. No, I think that Indy is a much better team with Danny Dimes at the helm and actually running the offense. Daniel Jones is a solid quarterback. Don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, when you're playing against the LA Rams, who is now at this point projected to be the favorite to win the NFC West, give me the NFC West division.
The leaders?
I do like the nickname Danny Dimes. I think that's a cool nickname.
Yeah. Danny Dimes from Duke.
Danny Dimes from Duke. Yeah.
What say you?
I'm going with Indy.
I am
They
too.
may not win, but it might be. They're gonna cover. That's where I'm gonna put it.
Indy, Indy is just, they're one of those things. And the only thing I'm going to say about this game, because I already took them, remember after the fantasy football draft, and I said, you can always find a great quarterback who was not drafted by anybody after week 2. Daniel Jones.
There you go.
There's always, no matter, we took everybody. There's only these 6 guys. One of those 6 guys will be a world beater. And until you slow down Jonathan Taylor, he's looking good.
JT killed me this weekend in fantasy. Had 35 points in fantasy. this weekend.
But he's so good that he's making Jones's
Daniel's
job
so much better.
so much easier.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
nice.
And who did you take, Robert?
I took Indy.
So you took Indy. So 2 Indies and 2 Rams.
That is correct.
All right.
Well, now let me rephrase that. So I'm taking the Rams for the points, or Indy for the points, but I'm choosing the Rams to win the game. If that's
That was the
But you're taking Indy plus the points.
yeah. I'm saying Indy's going to lose by at least four points.
No, then you're taking the Rams.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like giving the speech at the end of Billy Madison.
I know.
At no point did you make a coherent thought during any of that. May God have mercy on your soul.
And they got, yes. So Baltimore, another tough week for Kansas City. Baltimore going into Kansas. And Baltimore's hadn't been playing great. What are they 2-1 or 1-2?
Did they win this week?
Who did Baltimore play?
They are 1-2.
Yep,
Baltimore
1 and
is
2.
struggling right now.
Yeah, both of them 1-2. Kansas City and Baltimore.
This past weekend, the Ravens lost to the Lions. And,
That's right, to the
and
Lions.
it was a great game. However, Derrick Henry has
I
fumbled
thought,
once
wait.
again.
The Lions beat Philadelphia, didn't they?
No, you were off when you said that.
Oh, was I?
Yeah.
Okay,
Was
who
it?
did the Lions beat?
The Lions beat Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Yep.
And who did Philly? Oh,
Philly-
the Rams. Yeah, that's
Philly
right.
beat the Rams.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
but-
Wicked, stinking block field goal.
But the Lions and the Eagles played the week before, I believe,
Might have.
which is why I believe that you're getting that mixed up. But give me Baltimore this week. I think they cover the 2.5. They're going to go on the road to Kansas City. They're going to right the ship. Derrick Henry is going to hold on that ball, and they're going to go ahead and dominate that game on the line of scrimmage and be able to win that game easily by more than 2.5 points.
Go ahead, Shamu.
Well, I called it earlier in the season, the Taylor Swift effect. That's why I was always picked. But she's told Travis that the wedding is off if he doesn't get the ship straightened up. So I'm going with Kansas City this week.
You're making a swift decision.
A swift decision on that.
You want to go? Or you want me to go?
It doesn't matter.
Go ahead. Give me a chance to make up my mind.
The highest scoring team in the NFL currently is the Ravens. I don't see that stopping this week. They're going to put some points up on the board. Haven't seen anything from the chefs to tell me they can match, tit for tat. So, give me the Ravens.
So is everybody taking the Ravens so far?
No, he took the KC.
I took KC.
He's a
Did you?
Swiftie.
Swift on. I gotta hope my buddy Harrison Butker kicks a field goal at the end to win it. All right, Green Bay -6.5 at Dallas.
What a tale of 2 weeks.
I'm telling you.
They play against the Browns, and the Browns, after 3 weeks, I think no team has got more than 230 yards of offense against them, so they're just dominating. And then, Green Bay looks so tough or so rough against that team. Well, now they get the worst defense in the world, so they're going to put up a lot of points this week.
Give me the Pack.
Give me the Pack, too.
Go Pack, go is what I see happening this week. That trade, Micah Parsons for future draft picks. I mean, that trade is one of the most unbalanced trades that we've ever seen in the league. But to go through, and so, at the end of this week, we're going to see the Packers go ahead and just wreck shit for the Dallas Cowboys.
Was that Chicago Dallas game as bad as I read? Because like I said, I couldn't watch it. I was so frustrated.
It wasn't a good game.
Yeah.
I mean, at no point did I think, wow, Chicago's really good. You're like, Cowboys can't tackle and they can't cover, they can't do. So I don't have a lot of high hopes for either one of those teams, but they did push them around.
This can only mean one thing. Dallas is going to have the game of the year because I'm going with Green Bay as well. That's 4 for 4 on Green Bay. That means Dallas is going to do something special.
Yeah. If our last week's record is any indication, yeah.
Well, and Chuck's favorite quarterback is kind of dominating so far through 3 weeks. Dak. Dak is getting the ball out. They can't run the ball, but, man, he's slinging it around. But
what, they scored 11 points Sunday?
The problem is that Mr. Lamb went out. So if Lamb is not
and he's
back,
out for a few weeks.
he most likely he's
3 to
not going
4
to play.
weeks, yeah.
So
Yep.
Yeah. So I guess Dallas will be the sacrificial lamb.
it's bad.
Go
really,
Pack.
It's really bad.
Yeah. Go Pack. Yeah. I'm not picking you again this week. I've got a double right all year. I can't even pick one game right for my double. So it's pretty horrible.
Marcus Mariota coming back to town. I hate the Falcons.
He's not going to. I think Jaden Daniels will be back. But no matter who their Commanders quarterback is this week, give me the Commanders. I have no hope, no expectations, no excitement, anything more about the Falcons. It was pathetic performance they put on Sunday. Pathetic. Guess what?
What did you really think?
It was pathetic. So give me, and I told you, because last week, Falcons getting the axe. Go Commanders.
I tell you what, I really believe that this game is going to hinge on whether Jaden Daniels plays or not. Now, he says he's healthy, but he says it also comes down to the doctor saying that he can go.
Sure.
So, if the doctors give him a green light, I think this is going
You would
to
like to make this pick at 12:50 on Sunday?
Yes, I would, preferably. But I do believe that if Jaden Daniels plays, they will win. It'll be, open shut case. However, though, if Jaden Daniels does not play, I think the Falcons have a chance of actually upsetting the spread, but still break all of our hearts and lose. So, give me the Commanders this week. Just give me the Commanders.
What Marcus Mariota did to the Raiders, and that who they beat last week, he looked great. He will do to the Falcons. I mean, I'm hopeless. Hey, there's an H word. I'm hopeless.
Yeah.
As much as I picked the Falcons to win the division and all that, and how great they looked last week, this week was horrific. There's another H word.
I'll give you another H word. History. Have you ever seen the Falcons?
That's the rest. That's what the rest of their year might as well be.
There's a guy that works for me that's a big Falcons fan. I mean, he's got season tickets. I haven't seen him in the office all week. I don't know where he is. So, and last week I went against my better judgment and picked Atlanta, like I said I would never do.
I think we all did.
And so now I'm going with Washington.
Yeah.
Well, as long as you're hopeless, I'm going to go Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Deja Vu album, Helplessly Hoping. That's who I am now. I'll take those Falcons. You know, we're gonna smack Mariota in the mouth. We're gonna go from there.
So you're hopelessly devoted to you when it comes to the
No,
Falcons?
I'm not Olivia Newton-Johning this team. I'm just Grahaming them.
I don't know. I'll take Dan Quinn's bloody brow to go ahead and beat the Falcons.
It is not going to be good. It is not going to be
hard.
good.
It's hard to. You know, I mean, I'm not betting money when I take them. It's hard to figure out how this team is going to do.
How did you do on the tub? I know you went 3-3.
I went
in college.
6 points, so 6-4.
Yeah. I don't know. I did get the results today, but I didn't look because I knew I didn't win. I was 3-1 in college, and I was so excited, and I was up in like 3 pro games, and then I don't remember who else I picked. So it's brutal. Mark's doing better from Europe than I'm doing from here, so it's pretty awful. What are you looking forward to this week? I know we didn't talk about it much, but last week we had Danny Sullivan on. Danny McDonald. I don't know why I keep calling him Danny Sullivan. Sounds Irish, I guess. Danny McDonald was on the show, and he texted me some pictures today from the Ryder Cup. So he's up at Bethpage, and it's not typical to have a guest on 2 weeks after he's been on before, but he's coming back next week to talk to us about the Ryder Cup. So much football going on this weekend. It's a big sports weekend.
What have you made of all the conversation around the Ryder Cup players getting paid this year?
I don't know. I'm not real thrilled about them getting paid.
So they've never gotten paid before, but it turns out the players have always been given an amount of money.
A stipend, per se.
Well, no, the stipend is is what the golf is calling the new part. But they always give them, it could be called a stipend, but that's what they're calling the other part, to donate to their favorite charity.
Yeah.
So this year,
that I think is fun.
And they've always done that. So each player has $300,000 to give away to the charity of their choice, but they're going to get an extra $200,000 as a stipend. It's like, you know, I watched a little bit of Rory and the boys. You know, they were getting interviewed. You know, it's I play for free, and you know, this is what golf is all about. And it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah,
you got your Bryson hat ready?
No.
DeChambeau.
No. He's way up there with Succoufy on my list.
Right, but come Sunday, if it's America,
don't ask me that.
I already have, and now it's time.
No.
I know, but I have faith in you. You know
if
why?
He has to make the putt for the win, I'll pull for the USA. But I'm not pulling for DeChambeau. If we can win every point except the matches that he's involved in, I would be the happiest camper in the world.
I know you would.
Yeah. But even like they got John Rahm too, so I just don't get an exhibition golfer being a part of this.
It'll be interesting to see if they pair those guys up.
That would be nice. That's one match I wouldn't have to watch. All right.
And if they split it, you'd be okay.
Yeah. Ian, thanks, buddy. Appreciate you filling in. Robert, good show, buddy.
Attaboy.
All right, guys. Don't forget, know your numbers, cover your ass, get your prostate checked. We'll see you next week right here on Three Guys Who Love Sports.
Sure.
I'm glad we got a little Ryder Cup in. It was nice of Danny to send me those photos. You don't want this, do you?
Last week's picks, we got 6-4. What didn't you have?
0-4, yeah.
See how many college teams are undefeated now? 30. 39 to 30. And there'll be a couple more down this week. A lot of some 3-0 teams play some 3-0 teams.
This one team is going to come back to win it all for you. So he had him down as 6-4 this past week.
Which
but
game did he miss?
I don't know.
this week. I gave up.
The worst thing about sucking at football